Hope you're doing well this morning. Posted a very good article last night talking about the IMF, and the article is by the IMF, imposing sanctions and fines on Iraq for not being able to make loan payments back on time. Okay, so I wanted to discuss that with you. Now, I held back myself on putting comments on the article last night because I wanted to see your thoughts and give us something to talk about on Monday morning. So here we go. Let's get started. So that article had kind of three key layers to it, guys, that were amazing. The first one is the article is confirming and telling you that Iraq is not part of Article 8 currently, like some of the gurus, Foot Forward 26 and Frank 26 told you last week. Okay, and by the way, be careful who you listen to and be careful where you get your intel from. Okay. This article is confirming that Iraq is currently not part of Article 8, but you did learn a week ago they are under Article 8 policies and guidelines, okay? A week ago you learned that Iraq is under a single multi-currency practice, which is an Article 8 policy, okay? Now this article is telling you that before the IMF can implement any type of fines or policy, or I'm sorry, fines or sanctions on Iraq, they must adhere to international standards, okay? So that's confirming they're not Article 8. Now, okay, but when do they become Article 8 and adhere to international policies? Well, you guys are all smart enough to know that step will occur when they revalue their currency or reinstate their rate and making their currency internationally recognized, okay? So guys, that's the step we're waiting on before they do become Article 8 and adhere to international standards and policies, okay? So that was kind of the first layer within the article, is that article is confirming that Iraq is not Article 8 at this time, or they're not adhering to international standards until they reinstate their currency, making it Article 8. All right, the second layer within that article, okay, that article was written in such a way where it's putting a large emphasis on the year of 2020 and their 2020 budget, redirecting your focus over to 2020 to get many of you frustrated, thinking that, oh crap, nothing's going to happen until 2020, okay? Now here's what I want to stress. That's where I come into this. This article, okay, all of you know that Iraq will start approving the 2020 budget in October after they complete the last step, which is the formation of their government during the month of September, okay? There's more confirmation for that time frame and window that we've walked you up to based on facts, okay? So don't let this article mislead you for the year 2020, because that's where they put the emphasis, guys. You have to look at the deeper facts, and you can piece this together. Don't let this article mislead you. Don't look at 2020. That is not part of this right now. Okay, you have to look at when they're approving the 2020 budget, as well as completing the last step, which is the formation of the government. Okay. The third layer that this article is confirming for us is it's strongly suggesting that the 2020 budget does possibly contain the new rate, okay? If you look at some of the statements in there, it talked about reducing salaries, imposing taxes, reducing oil prices, and guys, part of that you've already seen within the amended 19 budget. The amended 19 budget does contain the reduced salaries in it, you know. I've pointed that out to you multiple times, okay? Now, imposing taxes, okay, guys, that's the taxes are a post-RI step. That's why they don't have full 100% taxes imposed yet, okay? To do taxes and tariffs, they have to have an internationally recognized currency. That's why they're talking about this. So the third layer of this article, it's strongly suggesting that Iraq's 2020 budget will adhere to international standards and be calculated off of the rate change, guys. So it's a very good article, has a lot of confirming information, and guys, this entire video is my opinion and shall not be used for financial advice. You guys have a great day, and God bless every single one of you.
Economist. Iraq is subject to international sanctions and fines. Budget 2020 Ahmed 2013 March 8, 2019. Information Special. The economic expert Osama Kazem said on Saturday that Iraq will be subject to international sanctions and fines by 2020 to raise the deficit and inability to pay for international criticism, indicating that he will be subject to the terms of international criticism to avoid sanctions. Iraq is obliged annually to pay money to the International Monetary Fund for the loans it had previously paid, Kazem told Al-Malama. He added that the high proportion of the deficit in the budget 2020 will affect the rates of payment next year, noting that the inability to pay Iraq will be subjected to sanctions and fines by the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank and have significant benefits. He explained that the Iraqi government will seek to avoid these fines and the availability of funds to comply with the conditions of the International Monetary Fund, noting that among these conditions raise fuel prices and reduce salaries and impose taxes and financial matters. Many provide funds in the budget to pay to the IMF and global banks. He added that these measures will be reflected on the citizen directly and affect the economic situation. The Parliamentary Finance Committee revealed last Saturday the existence of a large deficit in the budget of 2020 up to 72 trillion dinars effective, after a year